the party.
Okay, with him being gone.
Bye-bye.
Really?
I love you. Go get it. And that's what I want men to understand about most Black women that I know. Most of us, contrary to popular belief, don't just want a man. We want the man that we want. We want a man that we desire. We want a man that we're actually attracted to, physically, emotionally, psychologically, intellectually. And if you're not that, you know what I mean?
Nowadays.
It is a lot to ask.
It's
and
not a lot
It's
to
not.
ask.
I actually think it is.
No, I swear to God, everybody trying to convince us that we need to accept the bare minimum needs to go somewhere. No, it's not a lot to ask.
Listen,
Hold on, let her finish, Father. I know you about to do it, but let her finish.
Right.
I swear to God, the bar's in hell.
No, but I agree with you because
There you go. Now you go ahead.
I'm going to say this again because I've said this so many times. Because I'm so tired of this narrative that, like, we want Black women to accept that bare minimum. I don't want Black women to accept bare minimum. I feel like there's a multitude of Black men that don't want Black women to accept bare minimum. I think when they say that, they are dismissing the fact that some traumatic shit happened to the entire motherfucking community. Not just Black women, Black men. Not just Black men, Black women. And it manifested itself in so many different ways. That's why you have so many Black families that don't make enough money to even go and buy a house because they were historically gatekept from that. There's a historical context for the reason why a lot of men don't realize their potential. And there's a historical context to why a lot of women, are just hyper aggressive and hyper masculinized and shit like that. It all came from somewhere because we're living in a society that does not motherfucking value us. So because we're already living in that type of environment, and then it's hyper competitive, everybody's competing for everything. So now love is a motherfucking competition. I mean, like, it's like you said, Ray, you're not trying to compete with your woman. But because now the woman is at a place where she can nurture herself and she can actually see her potential being realized after being supplanted and suppressed for so long, they're starting to weaponize it in the same way that men have weaponized their motherfucking positions. Just like Material Life said earlier, when it came to the Bible, that's how a lot of men came to really hone that misogynistic bone in their body to mistreat their wives, to tell their daughters and to show their daughters an example that is unbecoming of them, right? So a lot of Black women grow up with that trauma, and when they elevate themselves and when they heal themselves, like, they don't get the celebration, they don't get the congratulations and shit like that. They get scorned and they get disrespected by the very same people that they sacrificed everything to try and provide for. So I understand the frustration that Black women go through when it comes to that. But that narrative that people want you to accept the bare minimum, that is fucking insecurity talking. Because the Black women that I know, it's not about bare minimum. It's about them making sure that a standard is set and that standard is maintained. The only particular reason why that narrative even started in the motherfucking first place is because they created this narrative that Black women are the least desired, and nobody wants to fuck with Black women and shit like that. So a lot of Black women felt like, bro, I'm going to sacrifice and I'm going to uplift these people. But the thing is, they've already been tainted. So by the time you've uplifted them, the only thing that you have solidified is the fact that now they get to move in whichever way that they want to because they was already compromised in the first place. But all the men that were in school, all the men that were working 2-3 jobs just to feed themselves and support themselves, you feeling what I'm saying? Like, they had investment too, but the thing that you also have to understand is that the switch up, like, is a possibility. And I feel like Black women have experienced that a lot when they build up a man and then they switch up on them. That's a very real motherfucking possibility, and that shouldn't be ignored. But at the same time, to say that people expect you to accept bare minimum, I have never seen a sane Black woman accept bare minimum in any motherfucking thing, like, ever. You feeling what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't know where that narrative is coming from. I don't know why when women get money, all of a sudden it's like why do you want me to stoop down to your level? It's like no one is asking you to stoop down to anybody's level. The fact that you think that you're stooping down is the motherfucking problem.
There's a reason why I hate the word settle, because like I said, because when you settle, you're not getting what you want. You're just taking what is there. I would never tell a black woman to settle, nor when usually what I say is compromise. Usually when you compromise, you're at least getting what you want. When people even when basketball players, when they go in their contract, they're gonna tell you what they think you want. The owner's going to tell you what they think you want, and you negotiate the price where it is good enough for you and it's good enough for them. I don't tell people, like I said, compromise that you're at least getting what you want. And if if you hold up your end, they hold up theirs, then that's a good relationship. I would never tell you to be in a relationship, be in a position where you're doing 100% of the work and that man is doing nothing. And I'm going to tell you, at least you got a man. No, I will be the first to tell you, if that man isn't doing nothing for you, get up out that relationship. Find someone that is going to do what you need them to do. Now, granted, most people is not going to get 100% of what you want, which is, again, going back to what Tyler Perry said, you're not going to get 100. Maybe you get you get 90. Most men, they get 60 or 40. And then, you know what? They're just like, I'm going to rock out with it. This is like, and like I said, you don't even have to go that low. I won't even tell you to go that low. That's just how men go. It's just like, you know what? She does this for me. I'm good. It's just like, I don't ever want a black woman to settle for nothing that they don't compromise to what you need.
Because everything is about sacrifice. There's not going to be a relationship in which you are not going to sacrifice. And, when we say that, it's like, oh man, you're talking about that struggle love shit. And I'm like, nigga, when in life do you not struggle? Even with money, you still struggle. When in life do you not struggle? You feeling what I'm saying? Like, struggle love, like, that's a narrative that was placed on you in order for you to feel like you need to go through hell and back with a man in order to prove your love. It's like, no, you don't. All you pretty much need to do is just be present. You feeling what I'm saying? And I'm not saying be present in the struggle, but, just have an intention to really love yourself and to love yourself enough to know that whether the investment is worth it or not. Because it's getting to a point where y'all will stay in relationships where it's not benefiting you. And then when it gets better, you're still carrying on that resentment because there was no acknowledgement of the pain that happened in the past. Don't do that to yourself.